Am I starting, Danielle? Is it
Sorry, we're just waiting for a couple attendees to come in, and then I'll get started with some housekeeping items.
okay? Just want to make sure I wasn't.
All right, welcome to the Cristo Rey Network College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us this evening. My name is Danielle, and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions that are happening over this week. We want you to check out the rest of the sessions that are happening this weekend. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/CristoRey. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter. We will be hearing from the University of St. Francis.
Good evening. My name is Eloise. I'm from the University of St. Francis, and thanks for having me. This afternoon, if you don't know about the University of St. Francis, we are a small Catholic university located in Joliet, Illinois. We have 42 different majors, 49 minors. We also have athletics and quite a few scholarships that are available. So as I go through my presentation this afternoon, we'll talk a little bit about, what the university has to offer. So we just talked a little about who are we? So the University of St. Francis, just a little bit about our history. We started in 1920 under the leadership of Mother Alfred Moles. I don't know if you know anything about her, but she also helped to found a Males Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. If you know some of our history, in 1971, we became a co-ed institution. The University of St. Francis upholds 4 core values, and they are compassion, service, respect, and integrity. Men and women who actually attend St. Francis uphold these core values, and they are able to give back to the community after they graduate. University of St. Francis has 4 locations. Our main location is located in Joliet, Illinois. We're located on 24 acres of land in a historical area. We also have a campus downtown Joliet, and that's it's called our St. Bonaventure campus. And that's for our students who major in arts and sciences and business. We also have a nursing campus that's called St. Clair's campus. And also we have one other location in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that's for our PA students. University of St. Francis has about 4,600 total enrollment. Of the total enrollment, about 1,700 are actual undergrad students. Of that 1,700, about half of those actually reside on campus. Just a little bit about what we do. So as I mentioned before, we have 42 undergraduate programs. We have 14 graduate programs, and we have 2 doctoral degree programs. So our doctoral degrees programs are in the College of Education and College of Nursing. Some of our top majors at the University of St. Francis are your nursing, your business, your social work, psychology, and allied health. Although those are the top majors, we have many students who seek to do different majors. One of our other top majors are undecided majors for the students who are not quite sure what they want to major in. So we do have an undecided major for those students. We also offer at University of St. Francis, we want students to get involved. So with that in mind, we have 44 clubs and organizations, and they range from internships, work study programs, other opportunities that are available. Also at St. Francis, although we have 44 different organizations, if we have a student that really wants to start a club organization, that is something that they can actually do. So we just have to have 4 people who have the same interest, and then we actually can have that worked out with them so they can actually get involved in that. We also have athletics. So we're NAIA. If you notice, we have women's basketball, we have men's basketball, we have softball, track, and many, many others. The one good thing about the University of St. Francis is that I said we are NAIA. So if a student gets recruited by a coach, then they can also get an actual athletic scholarship. So with an athletic scholarship and academic scholarship, those are stackable. And that will actually help with the actual cost of tuition. All of our students who attend St. Francis receive some type of aid. So they have an aid package, that works for them. So as I mentioned, if they get recruited, they can have athletics scholarship along with academics, which makes it more affordable for University of St. Francis. Just talk a little bit about why we're great. If you notice, we have 100% of our classes are taught by faculty. Our class sizes, if you look at that, you see, that about 25 or, 82% of our classes have students with 25 or less, and 51% of our classes have students with 15 or less. And that just goes to show, that we have these students who, if they're, in a small classroom, they're actually able to ask questions and get their questions answered. We also have several accreditations. We have 13 accreditations, and they're through the Higher Learning Commission. And this just ensures, that University of St. Francis, they have done the work to ensure, that we give back to the students to ensure they're getting the best education possible. And this just shows you all of our colleges, have accreditations: College of Nursing, College of Education, College of Business, College of Arts and Sciences. So they all have accreditations, that they actually earn to ensure, as I said before, the students are actually getting what they need in terms of support. Just a little bit about our outcomes. Look at our outcomes. You'll see, that we have, for actually our teacher pass rate is 100%. Our graduation place rate is 98%. So what that says to you, the students who attend St. Francis, after 6 months, of graduation, the students, 98% of the students actually graduate, and they actually go on to have a job placement, or they go on to an actual grad program. So we do very well in terms of making sure that the student is prepared. Finally, we have alumni network. Look at the alumni we have. We have 49 alumni, 49,000 alumni in 50 states and 19 countries. This just ensures, that the student will get support that they need, in terms of they're out looking for a job, they'll be able to connect with the actual alumni. Just lastly, if you decide, that you want more information about St. Francis, and you want to, go to St. Francis, so it talks about what will your legacy be. So if you want to apply to St. Francis, it's 4 easy steps. You just apply, it's a free application. Then you submit your transcripts. And then you do financial aid, and then you commit to St. Francis. And before I, turn it over to the next presenter, I want to let you know that here at St. Francis, we are test optional. So if the student decides, that they do not want to use their actual scores, SAT or ACT scores, we will actually look at the students' file based upon their transcript only. Thanks for having me, and I look forward, to speaking to you soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. We will now hear from St. Mary's College.
Wonderful. I will now share my screen. Perfect. Hi, everyone. My name is Ana Martinel Campo. I am the Assistant Director of Admission at St. Mary's College. I'm also a very proud alum. So I love when students are able to ask me questions about my personal experience, because I love sharing all about it. So St. Mary's College started in 1844. We are located in Notre Dame, Indiana, right across the street from the University of Notre Dame and beside Holy Cross College. So we reside in a tri-campus community. We have about 1,600 students. I put the map there of Chicago because we have, I'm the Chicago regional rep. And for my students to understand the proximity of we're in Chicago, we have about 1,600 students. One of the perks that I loved about St. Mary's and also why Chicago is there is because we would all fly to O'Hare Airport, and I could see my friends coming from Texas, Seattle, New York, Florida, me coming from Southern California, and then all going together to St. Mary's. So to me, that was huge, knowing that I was not just going to a college where there were students only from Indiana or the Midwest, but they were coming from all over the country. We have students coming from 43 states and territories, 16 countries, and then I think it's really important to mention that 20% of our students come from underrepresented populations and 27% are first generation students. We actually have a fantastic program called the Bells Connect program. Students that are admitted and decide to enroll at St. Mary's are invited to this program to be able to move in prior to the freshman class about 3 days before, so that you're able to get acclimated, better situated, and you're able to shadow what your Monday through Friday class schedule will look like, instead of moving in Friday with the entire freshman class and starting Monday your first class and not understanding really what's going to happen. So I think that program really benefits a lot of students, and it just gives you a smoother transition into the college. So what makes St. Mary's so special? Why would you ever attend a small Catholic private all-women's college? And here's why. First of all, I will tell you just a little bit of background. I didn't even go to St. Mary's because of the women's college experience. I didn't even step foot at St. Mary's before accepting to going, because it was, senior year, I had AP exams. I couldn't go from Southern California all the way to Notre Dame, Indiana, but I did attend an admitted student reception in California. And I realized that the community of students were just awesome. All the students were just so enthusiastic and so interesting and just so devoted to making friends and in the best interest of others. And that was right there that I knew that I wanted to spend the rest of the 4 years in college with people like that, who were supportive, encouraging, because at the end and the outcome to going to college is to be successful, but to also make friends. So that's when I turned around and told my mom, I think this is where I want to go. Plus my admission counselor was fantastic. And little did I know that personable experience was not just during my application period, but also throughout the 4 years, which is why we pride ourselves in the academic excellence and the individualized experience. The fact that the student to faculty ratio is 9:1 and the average class size is 16, it means that you're not a number, but you're a person. You're being taught by a professor who has office hours after class, who really gets to know you. And another example, I just love to point these out. I was strictly going to business because I thought that was the only way I was going to get a job after college. And at the end of my sophomore year, 2 of my professors approached me and they said, Anna, you're trilingual, you have all these great assets, but you're sticking directly to business because that's what you think is going to get you a job after college. And I was like, well, right, sure. And they're like, but you have 50 plus programs. There's all these different opportunities. And that's when I knew that they really cared about me and they knew my potential and they were pushing me to the best version I could be. And that's when I decided to switch majors and go into global studies with international business, and ended up doing grad school in Italy because of their letters of recommendation. So that's the type of thing that you really want into a college because, again, the resources are there, the professors really know you, and the smaller classes really give you that benefit and resource to really succeed, not just your 4 years, but after St. Mary's. We have 50 plus academic programs, our most popular being communication studies, biology, nursing. Speaking of nursing, for those of you who are able to visit our campus, if you're juniors, seniors, or even sophomores, we just opened a brand new center for integrated healthcare education for healthcare majors out there at St. Mary's. It's literally a month old and it is a state of the art. So if you are interested in nursing major, please come visit. It is beautiful. We also offer virtual tours if that's something that you're interested in, if you don't live near the proximity of around Indiana or the Midwest. We also have education. The reason why our education program is so popular is because you're actually on the classroom your senior year. So chances that you are lined up with a job after your senior year are very high. And so psychology as well as one of our most popular and most unique is our engineering 4+1 program. In 5 years, you graduate from both St. Mary's College and the University of Notre Dame. So you have 2 diplomas. Speech and language pathology, because we have a clinic on campus, and then our student design major. So what are the benefits of attending a women's college? Why would you ever consider, between thousands of colleges and universities around the country, a women's college? And the first thing is to say, despite me telling you about the encouragement, finding your voice of really understanding how to empower women, especially in mainly dominated jobs, such as engineering, such as, pre-med, such as pre-law, it's the facts, right? We see the outcomes that 81% of students who attend an all-women's college said that they felt prepared for their jobs versus 65%. And that not just includes everything that I just mentioned, but it's also the hands-on experience that you actually get to use and to do, and the research opportunities at St. Mary's that are funded by the institution, that these usually you only get when you're in grad school. And I mean, 51% of students also complete a grad degree going to a women's college versus 20% going to a public university. And these are just some of the things that I already talked to you about self-discovery, leadership, really understanding your voice and knowing how to become and be the best leader that you could be. And then the sense of community, which is like really the cherry on top. So the student life on campus, let's talk about the tri-campus community briefly. We have 500 plus clubs and organizations between all three universities. We are sister schools, so our St. Mary's students are able to join any clubs and organizations in all three campuses. Faith and spirituality, we are a Catholic college. However, and this is where I come in and say 65% of our students are Catholic, but we're an institution that we want you to feel at home. So we welcome all and any religions and any types of students all around the world. For service, this is one thing that I was very shocked at St. Mary's, but it made sense with the community of, Catholic embodying the education of educating the mind, the body, and the spirit, and being there to offer service for your community, which is why 80% of students at St. Mary's are involved in some type of club or organization that creates a better community and service to the South Bend community and to the tri-campus community. We have 8 athletics teams. We are NCAA Division III. However, if you're not interested in playing collegiate level, we have tons of intramural sports. And for study abroad, more than 50% of our students study abroad because your financial aid award package transfers directly to your study abroad program, which makes it more affordable. So the results of going to St. Mary's, 94% of students participate in internships and field experiences, just like I mentioned. We had a fantastic biology example 2 years ago. Students were taken to Nepal, financed all by the college, that for biology and pre-med, that they created a pad that could tell whether a medicine was created fake or real. And this is not an issue in the US, but in third world countries. And this is something that, again, you tend to do when you're in grad school, but because of St. Mary's and being a smaller school and the funds that you get throughout the majors, you're able to participate in internships and field experiences. 90% of students say that the St. Mary's empower them to make a difference in the world, and 95%, which is a key, are employed within 1 year of graduation. And just to quickly wrap up, Wilson scholarships, sorry, I'm just trying to wrap this up quickly. One student is chosen for a first-year student to receive the Wilson Scholarship. There is no separate application, and this covers your tuition, fees, room, and board. You have to be a Pell Grant recipient, and there is no separate application. So the application requirements are all there. For staying engaged, you can do virtual or on campus, but I'm going to leave you my contact information in case you have any other questions. Thanks again for listening about St. Mary's. I hope to see you on campus soon or virtually.
Thank you so much. And to all of our representatives, please feel free to include your contact information in the chat, and that information will be distributed out to our attendees this evening. All right, so moving to our third presenter, we're going to be hearing from the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University.
Sorry about that. I forgot to unmute. My name is Matt Byrne. I'm the Director of Admission at the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University. We are located in Minnesota, but the first thing I want to tell all of you is that you can do this. We have been longtime partners with the Cristo Rey network ever since they first created the University Partners Program. We have over 50 Cristo Rey students from all over the United States on our campuses right now, living the dream of a college student. So you can do this. We want to have you up on our campuses here at the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University. Now, with that being said, I mentioned we're located in Minnesota. We're about an hour northwest of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and it's a real quick trip from the airport. So if you fly into Minneapolis, St. Paul, it's about an hour and 10-minute drive straight shot from the airport to our campuses. Now, when you're looking at the screen right now, you actually see where it says college squared. It's not a mathematical formula. It's not an equation. What this simply means for you is that you have two colleges that are together in every way. All right, that's something that's very unique in higher education, the full power and resources of two college campuses every day and every night. We're going to talk about that in just a few moments. But I do want to make sure you know that we are Catholic schools, of course, founded by the Benedictine monks and nuns. The Benedictines are the oldest order in the Catholic Church, and they've lived by a set of values over the centuries. They've been around for over 1,500 years. And these values were written by Saint Benedict himself. And the values that you see on your screen, these are the kind of people, the faculty, the staff, the coaches, the students. This is the community that you're going to be around for the next 4 years of your life. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be Catholic to go to St. Ben's and St. John's. We have actually at St. Ben's, St. John's, we actually have about 55% of our students who are Catholic, 45% of our students who are non-Catholic. We have every major religion represented on campus at St. Ben's and St. John's. But we do have the monks and nuns who founded these schools. And we have almost 200 monks and nuns at St. Ben's and St. John's that live and work on our campuses, and they interact with the students. It's just a fantastic, dynamic relationship, and they really know what it means to live in community because they've been doing it for so long, and that rubs off on all of the students, faculty, and staff on our campuses. It makes it a really special place. I've never had someone look at these values and say, oh gosh, what a terrible way to live life. And it's not just the 4 years that you're here that will impact you with these values. These are values that will be carried with you for the rest of your life as a Benny or as a Johnny. Now, with the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University, I mentioned two campuses. It's exactly right. We have two fully equipped college campuses that you use every day and every night. We have about 1,600 women who live at the College of St. Benedict on the campus at the bottom of your screen. And at St. John's University, we have about 1,500 men. They live on the campus on the top of your screen there. So with that, you have about 3,100 students total at St. Ben's and St. John's. Every class, co-ed. Every social activity, co-ed. You have access to everything on both campuses. Most college campuses, you have one college campus. But at St. Ben's and St. John's, you get two student centers, two science centers, two libraries, two athletic facilities. You even have 4 places to eat, 2 at St. Ben's, 2 at St. John's. Your meal card is good at all 4 of those places. Also, and the menus are always different too. I know college students love food. With that, we have a shuttle that we call the Link that's always running back and forth between the two campuses. You never have to worry about getting back and forth to hang out with your friends, go to an event, go to the game, whatever it is. You can do it all. Also, at St. Ben's and St. John's, for all the activities and events, if you're a female, you get to go to St. John's to all the football games for free. Your card gets you in. If you're a guy, you get to go to all the soccer games at St. Ben's for free, no problem. Total access to everything on both campuses, day and night. The only difference is just where you physically live. The women live in the residence halls and apartments at St. Ben's. The men live in the residence halls and apartments at St. John's. The two campuses themselves, we have about 3,300 acres of land. Yes, we have more acres than students. We have an amazing physical setting. Hiking, biking, canoeing, kayaking, swimming, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing. We have all that available to you right on campus. I'm originally from the Southeast. I didn't know what snowshoeing was. I didn't know what ice fishing was. All that we could do right on campus. We have an arboretum on campus. We have a wildlife refuge on campus. We tap maple syrup. It's amazing, but yet we're only an hour from the Twin Cities. So if you really got to go to the Mall of America, the largest mall in North America, it's an hour away from campus. You can do all that. So it's a great environment to be in for your 4 years. We also want to make sure you know you're going to get the strong academics. Obviously, all the schools that you're going to be hearing from tonight are going to be wonderful academic institutions. With us at St. Ben's and St. John's, like many other schools, we are smaller schools. Our average class size is 19. Every single class is taught by a professor. You're never taught by a teaching assistant, a graduate assistant. You're never taught online. Everything is in person. All of our faculty are teaching you. It's also 100% experiential. You cannot graduate unless you have an experience outside of the classroom. It could be research. It could be an internship. It could be study abroad. It's got to be something outside of that classroom experience. You've got to do the practical work outside of that classroom in order for you to graduate from St. Ben's, St. John's. That real world experience is absolutely vital in a global market and economy, and you're going to get that within our education at St. Ben's and St. John's. I mentioned earlier that our students live on campus. We guarantee you housing all 4 years. We want you to make this your home. You only get to go to college once. You only get to live on a college campus once, 4 years of your life. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Everything is designed with you in mind. We've spent millions of dollars in creating gorgeous housing for students on our campuses. These are some townhomes that are right on our campus at the College of St. Benedict. We actually have a huge construction project going on at St. John's right now, building more townhomes on our campus. So it's a wonderful place to live. And hey, when you live on a college campus, you don't have to worry about the cable bill, the internet bill, the mortgage, the rent, the gas bill, the electric bill. Nope, it's all taken care of. We do it all for you. You don't have to worry about it. Also at St. Ben's and St. John's, we want you to have a global experience. I mentioned that global market and economy. We actually are one of the among national liberal arts colleges, we typically rank in the top 5 for the number of students who spend a semester overseas. We have 17 semester-long programs. We go live in another country. We have programs that go to London, Ireland, Spain, France, Austria, Greece and Rome, China, Japan, South Africa, Guatemala, Chile, Australia. I might be missing a couple there, but we've got all kinds of semester-long programs. And then, of course, we have shorter-term programs over the holidays or in the summer with our summer-term programs. We have over 100 clubs and organizations on campus. The largest club on campus is the Joint Events Council. They do all the programming on campus. You don't have an old guy like me deciding what bands are coming in. You, the students, get to decide what bands come in, what activities are going on, what comedians come in, what activities are happening. You get to make those decisions. You get to be on the planning committees, which is really pretty exciting for you. I was on that planning committee a long time ago when I was a student. It was so fun being able to go out there and negotiate contracts with bands and figure out what students wanted and get feedback and decide what was going to be happening on campus and doing all that fun stuff. It was fantastic. Also, we are NCAA Division III. With that, we have 23 NCAA Division III athletic programs that really span, all different kinds. We have football, basketball, soccer, wrestling. We have, all the women's sports, women's cross country. We have, volleyball, basketball, hockey, men's and women's. We have all of that available to you, and we compete at a high level. Our women's volleyball team went to the Elite Eight 2 years ago. There was no season last year. Men's football team, they went to the Final Four 2 years ago. There was no season last year, so a lot of success with athletics. Also, we want to make sure you know that you're going to be able to get a job. That's important. Mom and dads want to know that. We actually, according to Zippia, which is a non-affiliated program, they actually ranked us the top 2 schools in Minnesota for job placement. So you won't have to live in your mom and dad's basement. At St. Ben's and St. John's, you can apply using the common application. It's free to apply, no problem there. All we need is that official transcript. We are test optional. You don't need to submit your ACT or SAT scores. Our average GPA for students is about a 3.4 to a 3.9 on a 4.0 scale. Don't have to worry about those ACTs if you didn't take it. Also with costs, everything, tuition, room, board, and fees, it's about $60,000, but don't worry, we have lots of great scholarships available to you as a student. Our scholarships range in value from $15,000 to $32,000 scholarships per year. We have scholarships for fine arts, community service, legacy. We have a wonderful Army ROTC scholarship. We also have scholarships for women in leadership, women in STEM, lots of things. And then of course, we have a very generous need-based program for students based upon the results of the FAFSA. So lots of options for you to make it work. And then of course, you can see based upon your GPA, you can see where you might find in. If you have a 4.0 and you happen to take the ACT and scored a 32, you get a $32,000 reward. But if you didn't take the ACT at all, because we're test optional, and you have a 4.0, well, you're going to get $28,000 to $30,000 per year. And we'll make sure you get all this as well. So thanks for your time tonight. We're excited to work with you. I'm excited to be a university partner with Cristo Rey.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that great information. We are now going to hear from our last presenter of the evening. We're going to be hearing from Xavier University.
Hi, everybody. First off, on behalf of Xavier and my colleagues, thank you for sticking it out. It's the last session at C4. It's the best section that you have, so thank you for joining us. My name is Dan Sarmiento, and I am the Regional Recruitment Director for Xavier University. I myself am based out of New York City, but we have reps who cover throughout the country because we pull students from throughout the country. I'll provide you a link later at the end to basically help you figure out who your rep is going to be. Now, Xavier University, Jesuit institution located in Cincinnati, Ohio. When it comes to Xavier and our Jesuit tradition, one of the main things that we hold through is being all for one. We are a very supportive community. We are all here for the betterment of each other in regards to becoming our best selves so we can be a person for others. Another tenet of the Jesuits that we hold very true to our heart is cura personalis. That is the care for the whole person. So these are some themes that I'm going to be basically taking with me as I kind of go through and close out the evening with my presentation. Now, like I mentioned, we have a number of students coming from all over the country, all over the world even. A lot of times people think like in terms of being in Ohio, like most of the students come from Ohio, but actually over half of our students come from outside the Ohio region. One of the numbers that I actually like to point out in terms of giving you a sense of the energy and the vibrancy of our school community is that over 39–40% of our students, as they come in as freshmen, are the only ones to come from their high school in that given year. And so what that tells us is that these students are the ones who want to break the mold. They want to do their own thing. They want to figure out things on them, like for themselves. They want to be their own person. They want to just strike out and go on an adventure, right? And what this actually means when these students come to campus is that everybody is just eager to learn about each other, about themselves, to kind of just feed that energy into the student body. So that is one thing that, like, yes, here's all of these numbers, but those are some of the numbers that I think really stand out that help characterize the student body at Xavier. Now, oops, I'm gonna go back. Here are just some more numbers. Basically, we're located 10 minutes from downtown Cincinnati. So basically, when it comes to student life, we have we're a mid-sized institution, about 5,000 students, and we have over 170 clubs and organizations. To go through all of them would be kind of nuts. But basically, if there's something that you're interested in that we don't have, let's just make next year we have over 172 clubs and organizations, right? So in terms of campus, like I've already alluded to, campus life is vibrant, but sometimes you want to go to a ball game. Sometimes you want to go to the downtown area and go to a nice restaurant or get some fancy pizza, right? And so definitely being close to Cincinnati has its perks to augment student life. But again, that is not the only way that students are active. We also are D1 sports. If you follow NCAA basketball, you know that we're the Musketeers, let's go X. Definitely that is something that we're very proud of. And then all sporting events are free for students. The one thing we are actually very excited about is that we are adding a women's lacrosse team. So for you women laxers, there may be some good opportunities there. Guys, we're working on it, but that's where we're at in terms of all the different opportunities for students to get involved. So I mentioned Cincinnati already in terms of enhancing student life, but also Cincinnati is home to a number of Fortune 500 companies, and Cincinnati itself is very big on healthcare, right? And so that has helped enhance our opportunities on campus because our most popular majors are nursing and business. So really, when it comes to those students getting internships and getting placements and getting just access to opportunities to really get in the field and experiential learning, Cincinnati is a great hub. And actually, Cincinnati has been touted in just all the different, a number of different reports, I should say, as being one of the best cities for recent undergraduates to really just get started in their careers, right? And so definitely Cincinnati, not just for fun, but definitely for a lot of opportunities for our students. So like I mentioned, nursing and business are some of our more popular majors. You'll see some other things, interesting things like sports management and exercise science. So definitely there are a lot of different options. Now we talk about majors, and one of the things that some students are just kind of flummoxed about is like, I don't know what I want to do, right? And so at Xavier, we call it exploratory. It's not that you're undecided, it's that you still have yet to explore what is out there, right? And so basically when you come to Xavier, you'll be working with your academic advisor to explore what options are out there. They'll work with you in terms of what your interests are, where your strengths are. And so definitely do not worry about not knowing what you want to do. Again, we are here to help you figure that out. And so when it comes to, again, being all for one, being a part of a community, we have a lot of resources, right? Some of these you may kind of have assumed that there's of course, you would have an academic advisor. Of course, you would have a peer mentor and a career coach. But right here in the middle of the screen, you're going to see the word success coach. And sometimes people are like, what exactly is success coach? And basically, this is kind of your point person to just ask about some of the miscellaneous transition to college stuff. Like, how am I going to manage my time? I don't have to wake up at 8 in the morning anymore to go to a class, but that doesn't mean I don't have work to do, right? And they'll help you kind of figure out some like red tape and some life skills. So definitely, again, when it comes to support, obviously we have all the ones that you would expect. But again, we are so committed to your success that we have the additional success coach. Now, here is another screen with a lot of numbers. And you're going to see, you can do a screenshot so you don't have to read everything. But the one thing I like is in the middle, right? Again, we are committed to you and your experience and making sure you are getting what you need. And so we check ourselves, we survey the students, right? And so of the seniors, we basically 93% of them that we've surveyed have rated their experience as good or excellent. And so that's telling us that we are pretty much doing a really good job. Now, I know it's 93%, where's the other 7? There's always room for improvement. We're always working. We're always striving to work hard. But again, this is all in an effort to make sure that every student graduating from Xavier is getting the best experience that they can have. And so again, of all the different numbers on this screen, this is one that I'm pretty proud of when it comes to Xavier. The admission process, I know you guys are all in the midst of it and you're trying to figure things out. Xavier is rolling admissions, right? And so you may be looking at a number of schools that has rolling admissions. And this basically means that we don't have that November 1 or November 15th deadline, right? So you do have some time, but I would caution you to also check at some of your other schools to see if there's priority deadlines. So for instance, we have a priority deadline of December 1 to be competitive for honors scholarships, FAFSA, nursing programs. So definitely kind of, again, keep that in mind when you're looking at all your rolling admission schools. Here is my contact information. I'm about to, again, help you. If you want to do a screenshot, I'm going to put it in the link. But thank you again for sticking with us for the last session of the evening, I believe. And then best of luck.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that great information about Xavier University. All right, so we have a couple of minutes. We are going to bring all of our college representatives to the screen, and we're going to have time to answer 1 or 2 questions before we close out. So the very first question we want to start with, and a couple of you have already touched on it in your presentation, but what advice would you give someone who is going through the college search process?
So I'm Eloise from University of St. Francis. One of the things that I would recommend is that, I know for a first-time college student going away to school, it can be very crazy and very confusing. I just say to you to make sure, that, to know it's gonna be that, it can get kind of confusing, but, the university and colleges are there to help you navigate your way through the process. So don't be afraid to seek assistance, because that's what we're there for. So know that we're there for you, and do not be afraid, because your success depends on you being aggressive and taking the leap of faith.
Anna from St. Mary's College. I was just talking to a student earlier about this, and I like the to-do list method. Instead of having 25,000 things that you're trying to accomplish every single day, divide those up. Monday through Friday. You have 3 things you can tackle each day. That way it doesn't seem super overwhelming, whether it's requesting your transcript, whether it's completing your workshop for your essay, but that way you're going to be more effective and finish everything rather than trying to roll over those tasks that you did not continue through that one day per se. But, and again, yes, we are here always for you. This is why we're here. So never feel afraid or embarrassed to reach out to us with any questions. We're here to help.
I would just say 2 things. I mean, the first thing is think outside the box. Okay. A lot of times, I know when I was younger and I was in high school and senior, it was really easy to just fall in the trap of, well, this is where everyone else is going and it just is easy. And I'm just going to go there, you know, right in my hometown or something like that. But I always say any good college search is going to have options. A good college search consists of maybe 1 or 2 options close to home, 1 or 2 colleges further away, in-state, out-of-state, public, private. Explore, think outside the box, and allow yourself to think about the possibility of going away from home and having a different kind of experience. I think that's something that you really need to try to say, okay, because you don't know where your life is going to lead you down the road. Your dream job might not be right in your hometown where you're living right now with your mom and dad. Your dream job could be somewhere else. So, you know, think outside the box is my first piece. Like my second piece will be a much more brief. Give yourself permission to not know what you're going to do with the rest of your life at age 17 or 18. You don't need to know what you're going to do right this minute for the rest of your life. If you do, great. You know, you can pursue that at most all of our schools and be successful. But don't put the pressure on yourself. Don't let your parents or anyone else say, well, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? You got to go to school for that right now. It's okay not to know.
And then I echo all of what my colleague said, but me being a to-do list person as well, in terms of what Anna from St. Mary said, what I want you to make sure you do, if you are also a list person, add these 2 things on your list: breathe and check in with yourself. It's your senior year. It's the college process. There's so much going on. You're trying to juggle a lot of things. Don't forget to take some time to be like, okay, wait, where am I at now? Am I thinking about myself, or am like Matt said, am I following along with what everybody else is doing? Why am I making these decisions? If you don't allow yourself time to breathe and check in with yourself, it'll be so easy to get lost. So add that to your to-do list and just make sure that, again, you are checking in with yourself as you go through this process. And again, yes, we are here if you want us to help you breathe.
Those are great responses. So we have just 2 minutes left. So I'm going to give each college the opportunity to share one short thing that you want each student or each attendee to remember about your college. So we'll go once again in presentation order. So just one thing about your college.
So again, my name is Eloise and I'm from the University of St. Francis and Joliet. I really want you to know that we are a college of caring. So we care about the individuals. You know, we talk about core values: compassion, compassion, integrity. So just want to let you guys know that that's what we really actually strive for at the University of St. Francis.
I think one of the most valuable things at St. Mary's that would be a remarkable thing to tell you in a very brief short would say that this is where you will feel at home, where you will find yourself, not only your voice, but also your strength to know what kind of person you will be after your 4 years. So that's all I can say.
Matt Byrne, College of St. Benedict and St. John's University. You're Cristo Rey students. And as a Cristo Rey partner, we're deeply committed to you and the Cristo Rey mission. And we have over 50 students from Cristo Rey schools all across the United States that are here, and they have we've had a long tradition of them not only coming here, but then staying here, graduating, and going on and getting those jobs and giving back. So that's what I would say. You're Cristo Rey. We believe in you and we want you here.
And then when it comes to Xavier, I mean, basically, as I mentioned before, this is a place where you can try and strike out on your own and figure out who you are. And we are here to support you. If you trip, we'll pick you back up. We will make sure that you are keeping yourself, we'll make sure you're breathing and checking in with yourself. But definitely, as a community, we are here to support you and you challenging yourself as you kind of figure your way through school.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. So this is the conclusion of our last session for today for the Cristo Rey Network College Fair. When the session ends, you will have the opportunity to complete a quick 5-question survey. It's a great opportunity for you to provide feedback for this session. This is the last session of the evening, but we do encourage you to come back on Saturday where there will be other college fairs and panels. And then this recording, along with recordings for other sessions, will be available on strivescan.com/Cristo Rey. So thank you all for attending. Thank you to our panelists and have a good evening.